Yo, what's going on, family? Yo, it's something in the air. I'm talking about crazy. Last couple days, I haven't even been able to breathe out of my nose. I wanted to post a video yesterday, but I got on. I sounded funny. I was all stuffy. I sounded like Squidward. My eyes were watering. I felt like it was allergies or something like that. But I am back today, and we are going to be looking at some creepy and wild TikToks that will blow your mind.
So they had a story on CNN 3 weeks ago that said the USDA has approved the sale of clone meat to the American public.
It's always in the movies, right?
Mm. Mm.
Entertainment purpose only.
New sandwich. I'm glad you asked, Kent. We start with grade A beef, feed that to other cows, then kill them and serve the unholy results on a 7-grain bun. Burger squared!
Yo, they literally do that. I don't know if they do it with cows or with beef, but they definitely do it with pork. Look it up if you get some time.
It checks out.
Cows eating cows? That's an abomination.
No, Lisa, you're a vegetarian, but these cows have made a different choice. And now this lucky reporter will be the first human to sample this delicious crime against nature. Juicy, flavorful, with just a hint of...
Zombie. Oh, these are zombie
That's my
burgers.
check cashing arm, you stupid!
Slavery is not physical.
Yo, did anybody get those 50-cent, 1 cent free burgers that they were having? Like, isn't that crazy? Every place has these cheap burgers just all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone just got enough money. They're like, hey, we just give out 99-cent burgers. So you got to know something's up with that, you know? Everyone's not always on the same accord talking about some National Cheeseburger Day. Never even heard of it.
Cool anymore. It's mental. It's mental. It's mental. It's mental.
Facts.
When are we gonna understand that we are put on earth to love?
Sometimes you just have to be fearless enough to break the simulation.
God's inside me, God's inside you, God's inside all of us, so I'm walking with faith.
I feel like the world and the universe experiencing a God.
I believe in God. I believe in me. Same person.
You're the image of God in human form, brother.
It's inside of us. We collectively are God. We as a collection, God is in us, so collectively we are God.
So one of my followers sent me this video of this portal opening in the subway. Now don't get me wrong, this could be CGI. Let's get into it, entertainment purposes only. Yeah, let's pay attention to this. What
This is like Doctor Strange.
in the goddamn Doctor Strange is going on? What in the fucking Doctor Strange? It just opened up and disappeared. And it kind of looks similar to when this man opened a portal in his room. Y'all remember this, right?
Never seen
Viral
this.
video. Think they said he went missing or something like that along those lines.
Yo, this like Sonic when he has the little rings.
Now, as I said, as this veil keep lifting, we're gonna see a lot more strange things in this age of Aquarius. And as the planet frequency keep rising, it's gonna be a lot more portals that open up. Let me know what y'all think about these portals opening up in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about portals opening up in the subway in the comments. If you stayed this far, leave a like, share it to somebody to share the wisdom. If you do, much gratitude.
So do y'all think that was CGI or an actual portal?
Why do you think we exist?
We believe that this is
Matrix. This Matrix bullshit my wife believes. Why you saying the same shit this nigga said?
and well done. It's the reason that everything fits together. Like, it would be enough if there was
Do you
just,
believe in other lives? You lived other life?
I know that the whatever is in our body whatever that weighs, I know that when it leaves here, it still weighs that in the universe. So it's somewhere.
It came to you from somebody.
Yes.
Wow, right? It came to you from somebody. When it leaves you, it's going to go someone else.
Yeah. It's the reason that when you're young, there's a lot of things that you learn that nobody taught you at all. You just...
Yo, for real, I be thinking about that all the time. Like, these kids, there's some things that they say, and I'm like, I never taught you that, you know, and no one else ever taught you that. They just be learning, literally. And like you said, we probably came here from somewhere else. My take on it is this, right? I feel like, you know, once you are born into this body, this avatar, right, you might have a recollection of your past life, but you're so young. You don't even know how to, you know, talk to people. You don't know the language. You don't know anything. So you're just absorbing everything in. You might want to speak to these people and tell them some things, but you don't know how to. You don't even know how to use your voice. You just know how to cry. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to talk so bad. You want to get this out. Everything's new. The only thing you could do is cry as a baby. And then when you get to like age 4 or 5, when you're actually able to start doing these things, you've been doing it for so long, learning this language, learning these people, learning this life, this world, that you've completely forgot about the past life. And we know how memory works. You know, once, you know, you stop thinking about it, what they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. So you lose the memory of your past life, and all you do is focus on this life. You know, you've grown so much to love your parents, your siblings, everyone around you, to know this language, whatever language it may be, you know, that you've learned, that this is all you know. So therefore, you have a personality based off of this realm. You know, it's just crazy to think about.
The world is just one big school. Right. One big school. And when we die, we're not going to know as much as we died, but even as much as we lived. You know, we don't know anything. Only thing we know is what they told us in those books.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or whatever it is.
That's how you know that there's truth in the history, though, because we're now in a place now in history where we're able to know more about the universe than ever. Like, we've been to places now. You know what I mean? We've been to all these planets, and we've had these experiences unlike anybody else in history. But the problem is that whatever they said about the planets 6,000 years ago,
bullshit.
No, it was all true, and we are just now finding out. So the question is, how the fuck did they know?
Oh, shit.
Why did they say Mars was the red planet before they got there and explained to us that that's what it was like and what the environment was? How did they know about the rings on that planet, and why were they correct about it? And if they're that correct, what were... I'm saying,
like I said, who are we? Who's our ancestors? When it first started, how did my ancestor look? My millionth ancestor. Wow, I can't even say a million ain't nothing. A million years ain't shit compared to time. Trillion, who's my trillion? Ooh, life is a bitch, huh?
Right.
There's no time. We made time, but it's really eternity.
That's what you were saying when you said the 365 days. So before somebody called it that, then how old were you? Like, how were you measuring your
before Julius Caesar said, hey, motherfucker, this is going to be 1 year because I can't take this shit. So it's no such thing as time. It's eternity, and we turned it into time.
I thought when I was real young, I thought if you was a great, great man, you generally died around 25 or 26. So I had planned my life according to that. And I got into this thing about 6 or 7 years old where I was like, yeah, every 7 years, that's almost like a new you. And
every 7 years.
I've kept that model going my entire life. So, I've lived 7 whole existences that were separate from the one before it, taking what it takes from it, but yeah.
That's amazing right there, you know? You could just fuck my whole head up right there with all that shit, man.
You know, when you do die young, it's the way it is.
Every 7 years, it's a new you. Right, 7X, baby. Wow, look at all of that. They done cleared everything already. Except for all the beachfront houses. Everything on the beach over here in the suburbs, in the rich neighborhood. Like it didn't even get touched. They was over there eating grapes while everybody getting burnt up. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Dang, now all this gone. Man, imagine being on vacation and you come back home to your city and that's what it looked like. It's just weird how, you know, you can have a whole house that didn't get touched around a bunch of houses that got burnt down. Look, they got a whole basketball court still, football field, playground. Is that a school or something? That whole thing is just wild, man.
Since the media is silencing the voices of the Lahaina fire victims, it's only right we take a moment to hear what just a few of them have to say.
Because this was not a natural disaster. I would like actually samples taken from the soil. You guys put the screen up. You won't let anyone see what's going on inside. But we know very well that you guys, as the third largest stakeholders, the state, do want that land and can take it when you deem it a natural disaster.
Wow.
And that is disgusting.
It was not a natural disaster. This emergency proclamation is a fall. Funny how all the common people were taken out in one fell swoop of a fire.
I 100% know with every fiber of my being that this was not a natural disaster. This was a planned attack. There are many, I mean, it's a 1 + 1 + 1 = 3 equation. You cannot call me a conspiracy theorist for being a critical thinker. Did you know that the CIA, the corrupt CIA, invented the words conspiracy theorist as a way to gaslight people for speaking up on the truth?
The footage I'm about to
Crazy.
show you, it's yet to be confirmed as to the actual location, but it does appear that Maui police officers are refusing to let Lahaina fire victims onto their own land.
His escort.
I request the recognition of my rights.
This moment right now, this is a line that can't be crossed at this moment.
Wow.
Officer, and I know likely you're in a dilemma. However, you must realize that this is my territory and my rights to have free access to my territory.
It is the law.
Right now, we're just going to hold the line for a moment here. We've got to take care of some things.
For a moment, so you're going to let him in a moment?
Officer, that is not your business, is not my business. My territory is my business.
Yeah. Okay, okay, that's good.
Look, y'all, that's probably how they did it here in America a long time ago. If you ever think about all the old fires and stuff that we had back in the day, they probably just wiped our memory of all of these things, you know, just, you know, start over. Let's start teaching them that something completely different happened. So they probably got everyone off of their land here, off of some natural disaster or something like that, came in, is like, you can't come back. You know what I'm saying? It's probably something just like that.
So police are breaking the law by not allowing, I forget what section that is, but not allowing Bill Jones on his own territory this morning.
So ladies and gentlemen, I just want to make it very clear that Oprah is not the biggest victim here. There's a reason why people would be, like, I guess people, there's always a reason why. And I think that the corporate and the mainstream media don't understand that a lot of Americans are waking up to becoming critical thinkers, and they feel that they are being played by either their government and the media. That's why the people don't trust the media. So it's just, that's very simple. So for Oprah to get on national TV, and meanwhile this is happening in Maui, you're talking about, you're mad because people are mad at you for saying that They just rather you donate because you're worth so much money, and you want the people to donate, knowing that that's what the people are going through in America. They're going through. You just literally, you have a whole list of exactly where the money in America is going. You literally have a whole list, right? You have the list right here. This is the list. Biden announcing $6 billion for Iran. He's negotiating a $24 billion
24
package for Ukraine. Like, come on, just $700. I don't care if that's the minimum or maximum you could get from FEMA, bro. Make it happen some way. How? You're the president, and we are the United States of America, the greatest land known to man.
We are a corporation. He ain't no president. He's a CEO of this corporation.
Make it happen, bro.
Definitely. What y'all think about her, man? All these billionaires. Oh, snap. I had a feeling something like this was going to happen one day. It's only a matter of time, y'all. That's Dr. Evil right there. Ain't never gonna happen. The boy ain't never getting arrested.
The nigga tried to sacrifice me. Because look at it this way. I'm in jail. I had a PBL charge. I'm facing life. Now, that's what nobody realized. I was facing life. I'm facing life. Which was one of my favorite rappers. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody loved Drake, bro. Everybody loved Drake. I still respect the nigga for his music. You know what I'm saying? I just can't respect what he did to me. You feel me? Everybody loved Drake, bro.
Do you think he deliberately did it, or maybe like?
Yeah, bro. Fuck yeah, bro. Fuck yeah, bro. And I'm not gonna say no names, nigga.
Can't trust Drake
you
either.
Take the battery out of your phone, I can still listen to you. You take the batteries out and think you're good, and you go in there and skiff, and you can talk about whatever you want. Well, I could still listen to you. If we were doing stuff that you could never find what we were doing, ever.
Doesn't it? Okay, look, y'all remember back in the day, I don't know how old or young y'all are watching this video, but back in the day, a cell phone would have a removable battery. You know, I'm pretty sure all cell phones have removable batteries, right? So there's even phone companies that would allow you to bring your dead battery in and they'd give you a fully charged one right there. It's not the case no more. None of the phones that we have batteries. I mean, unless I don't even know if like the really cheap phones, like trap phones, if those have batteries, but I doubt it. No phones have batteries. That means they're never off. You might think your phone's dead or your phone's off, but it's still on. You can get your iPhone and it's dead. If you hold the power button, something will pop up. It's not dead. It's still on. So you got to be careful with all these electronics. There was a movie, I think it was Fahrenheit 451, right? And in there, they had these little cameras, right, in all the rooms. And one of the police officers, he knew it, and he turned it off, right? And the camera is like Amazon Alexa or something. It was like power off. It didn't power off, and he knew that, so he would put a shade over it still, and it would show that the camera was still on. So whole time, people think that these electronics are off. They're not. They're still capturing everything that we do. It's crazy. Go watch Joan is Awful.
And you never will. And it's in every piece of equipment right now. In every chip right now, there's stuff. And where are we buying all the chips from? China.
What?
One of the biggest cosmetic brands, designer cosmetic brands in the world. Their ex-formulator had contacted us. He said, quote unquote, the cosmetic industry is destroying women's cells.
Oh, no.
cells, cells. And I said to him, why don't you say something? He said, I can't.
There's too much money in it. $1 billion industry.
This cosmetics issue is even bigger than the tobacco industry because we're talking about thousands of different chemicals.
The same.
Oh, no, y'all. Hey, wifey, if you watching this video, mama, if you watching this video, the proof is in the pudding. You know what I'm saying? Y'all look good without it. You don't need to put it on. Just saying.
Chemicals being dumped and running through the rivers that are toxic are running through our blood.
For some of these chemicals, millions of children will be harmed before we actually decide whether it's toxic or not.
Skincare, hair, feminine care products have been associated with reproductive problems.
Probably why I'm
Ovarian
bald.
cancer, preterm birth, mercury poisoning, endocrine disruption.
Pyramids in Louisiana that's as old as Jesus. This is for entertainment purposes only.
The burials in this 30-foot-high mound began at the same time that Christ was
Jesus
born.
Christ
a half-world
himself!
away, 2,000 years
2,000
ago.
years
There are
ago.
clearly some very interesting alignments.
When scientists mapped the
Just
alignments of
listen,
the mounds,
Egypt
they
was
found
in
a
America.
perfect north-south and east-west orientation.
The sun's going to set down into X.
And mounds that point to the summer and winter solstice.
I just cannot accept that that's coincidental.
Indian burial mound. In
Let's
Louisiana,
get into
the
it.
burial mound of the Marksville Indians was 90 feet in diameter, 21 feet high, and contained more than 1,000 skeletons. Where are the skeletal remains of these people? This
Smithsonian.
is a depiction of the ancient mounds 2,000 years
Yeah, I
ago
see this.
before Christ. These mounds predict the movement of the moon, stars, and the sun, predicting the winter and summer
Just
solstice.
listen.
We already know what kind of people build equinoxes and solstices.
So when we tell y'all
We
they
know the
had an
truth now.
Egypt in America where they had pyramids and knew the winter solstice and knew how to calculate the sun and the moon, and they wasn't connected to the Native Americans, we need y'all to start listening. You go start doing your own research, you feel me? And the people that was in them pyramids, we know who those people are. Let me know what y'all think about these pyramids been old as Jesus in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom and stay tuned.
Listen, America got more pyramids than anywhere else in the world, right? And like he said, I do believe that America was the original Egypt, because if you think about it, Egypt is a new name, all right? That's not even an old name. They never even used Egypt over there. So over there, that land was probably Kemet or Kush or whatever they called it prior to that. But here was Egypt. And to make everyone believe that Egypt wasn't here, to try to hide everything, to cover it up, when you go to school, they tell you literally, point to Egypt on the map. They want you to think that Egypt is over here. They're pushing it in your mind. You know, like, why are they even teaching you about Egypt? You know what I'm saying? They ain't teaching you about nowhere else. So that's why Egypt was here. There's more pyramids here.
It turns out that that is absolutely false. Food pyramid was basically sold to the highest bidder, and the grain industry just so happened to be the highest bidder. Thanks to independent researchers like Paul Saladino and others who are doing their own research, diving into actual clinical studies, it's been proved, for example, that seed oils are not healthy for you, although they have been promoted as heart healthy. But there is evidence to support that it has been funded to be claimed as heart healthy. And there is heaps of evidence that show that it clogs your arteries, but they don't want that out there, and they will fund as many things as they can to keep that suppressed.
Hey, so if we can't use lotion, we can't use seed oils, like, you know, I thought 100% almond oil might have been good for me, you know, but I guess not. What are we supposed to use? You know, we do get ashy, our skin gets dry in this climate 100% for sure, so it's like, there's something we got to use. We got to figure that out. Y'all probably already got it figured out. So let me know in the comments. If I can't use oil, if I can't use lotion, what should I use?
Voted to profit to make money off of the American people's illnesses. Likely what caused the biggest influx of people waking up to how the corruption is Rona in 2020. Just look at this CNN employee stating how climate change is the next pandemic.
They've already announced in our office that once the public will be open to it, we're going to start focusing mainly on climate like global warming, and it's going to be our focus. But that one's got longevity. You know what I mean?
What we need to understand is that these companies, these news outlets, are just a business like everything else. Capitalistic, and they have one thing in mind. It's not the truth, it's profit.
Starbucks is being sued for selling you fake food. Here's what's going on. The fruit refresher drinks are now under scrutiny through a class action lawsuit that claims that there's a very important ingredient missing: fruit. Instead, these drinks are just made of a chemical soup of flavors and colors to give you the fake sensation of what the names claim they are. So what was Starbucks' reaction to the lawsuit? They tried to have it dismissed, but the judge presiding over the case rejected their dismissal and said that this case is going through and justice will be served. Let this lawsuit be a reminder to you that heavily processed and commercial foods are not designed with your health as a priority. Stick to whole foods, remove processed garbage, and you will probably be adding years to your life.
This has officially gone too far. Doja Cat's new music video for her song Demons might be the most demonic music video ever released in music video history. And at the time I recorded this video, it's number 5 trending in music already. And these were the top 3 comments on the music video. They love how she doesn't conform to the typical female rapper aesthetic. Her creativity is next level, that it's refreshing. People need to realize that this is art and it's emotional and it can connect people. And now I'm starting to feel like I'm on an island all alone. And before this becomes trending on TikTok, just ask yourself, is the music you're listening to changing the way you act, changing the way you think? And if it is it changing you for better or worse? And if it's for worse, then it's time to start rethinking things. But these lyrics...
This movie is predicting the future of our planet, and here's how. Now, The Simpsons made it very clear that if you pay close enough attention, the truth is hidden inside movies and shows. Well, there's a new movie coming out called The Creator, and this movie predicts the future of AI and what can actually happen.
Did y'all see that they had those the same people from this movie at the LA Chargers game? They just had them in the stands, you know, probably trying to see if people would notice, you know, if people would care too much. And it's kind of like what he's saying. I think that's the future. They're just getting us ready for these people.
It reveals that AI becomes so advanced that it gains its own consciousness, which eventually causes a war between humanity and AI. Now, one thing that all movies like this have in common is Los Angeles. Why is it that every time the world ends or something crazy happens, it starts off in LA?
The artificial intelligence created to protect us detonated a nuclear warhead in Los Angeles.
And to make things worse, they brought AI robots to an NFL game in Los Angeles to promote this movie. Now, a lot of people are saying that these are just people wearing costumes, but either way, LA got way too much shit going on. So do you think this is really the future of AI or just another movie? Let me know in the comment section and y'all stay conscious.
I'm cool on all the AI stuff. I'm straight, y'all.
All of this be planned. You know, it's stunning to monitor the media's lack of interest in the whole Maui story. I've been in this business for 30 years. I'm stunned, but I'm not surprised. The dots are connecting. And coincidence seems to be the story here, right? But the true story, the media knows it is not allowed to tell. But I can. Is it a coincidence that the Maui police chief is the same man who was in charge in Las Vegas during that massacre that killed 58 people? Is it a coincidence that the Maui property, owned by million and billionaires, wasn't touched by the flames while homes of the locals all burned? Was it a coincidence that the flames traveled across hundreds of feet of pavement and crossed a 4-lane highway with emergency shoulders to jump into the ocean and then burn all the boats? Was it a coincidence that the largest system of outdoor emergency sirens in the world never made a sound as the fire devoured Lahaina? Was it a coincidence that at the same time, very same time, all the water was turned off? Was it a coincidence that police were ordered to block off streets and to funnel all the cars trying to escape onto one road where that firestorm incinerated entire families? How about the coincidence that the governor of Hawaii, Josh Green, just weeks before that inferno, signed a pledge to the UN's 2030 Agenda of Sustainable Development, pledging to eliminate emissions? Weird. And think about this coincidence. That governor also signed an emergency proclamation on July 17th, 3 weeks before the fire, about housing of all things, and suspended 7 state statutes protecting historic preservation laws, removing all of the red tape when it comes to building infrastructure. Coincidentally, that emergency proclamation also suspends previous building laws and gives the governor some magic wand power to appoint a housing czar to rule on the island's redevelopment. Is it a coincidence that the government put up a black fence around Lahaina, or that the FAA grounded all drones from flying over the affected areas? Is it a coincidence that since at least 20 2011, there have been plans to make Maui the first smart city run by 100% renewable energy. And that coincidentally, 2 of the 3 largest landowners on Maui are BlackRock and the U.S. government, and that both are part of the UN's agenda. It must be a coincidence then that the locals whose homes did not burn are now being evicted from their property. And of course, a total coincidence that all the fact checkers who are checking these facts, who say everything I just told you is just a coincidence, are also owned and run by BlackRock. Thank goodness none of these coincidences is connected. I'm Wendy Bell. I'll see you next time for more Common Sense.
Wow. Yo, she just broke it down for you. What else do you need?
There is a non-human species, and it's incredibly benevolently well disposed to the human race.
Yeah, and I think that is the logical fallacy there is because they're advanced, they're kind. We'll never really understand full intent in that because we're not them, whatever them is or are. But I think what appears to be malevolent activity has happened. Based on not only nuclear site probing activities, witness testimony, I think at least if we look at it through a humanistic lens, it does appear negative, at least to us.
Oh, I'm scared. People have just heard you say non-humans may well have murdered human beings.
That seems to be the case at one point, yeah.
So, man, look, they probably be having fun with us humans down here, you know? You know how we go out to the woods, you know, and we go hunt because we think the population's getting too large? What if that's what aliens are doing to us? What if we are slaves to these aliens or these non-human life forms and we just do everything for what their intentions are and they hire people to distract us so that we don't really know what's going on? What if the weapons we're making is for them and not for us? Man, it's all type of things I can think of.
Who heard about the whistleblower that was fired for exposing the police gangs and what they was doing to black and brown people? And this video is for entertainment purposes only.
Police Department
Let's
former
listen
Captain
to what
John
they're about
Whitney
to say.
says he now feels some vindication and a lot of emotions.
I'm sorry,
Whitney and his attorney Jamie Walker of William Ivory say Tuesday night the city council voted to approve a nearly $1 million settlement to Whitney's whistleblower lawsuit. Whitney says he was fired for reporting unethical and corrupt behavior within the Vallejo Police Department, including badge bending. Officers had been bending down the corners of their badges following shootings.
I received awards
Y'all
for
heard
my
it?
achievement from the Peace Officer Standard and Training, and I was ready for the next step of my career, and they took all of that away from me.
Walker says the settlement sends a clear message. Vallejo fired a whistleblower.
You don't pay nearly $1 million when you did the right thing.
At issue has been the intention behind badge bending, which I discussed with both sides last year.
These officers were celebrating in a gang-like ritualistic fashion the murder and death of black and brown people in the city of Vallejo.
The officers had to confront a lethal force incident, and it was a way of acknowledging that.
The Solano County District Attorney refused to investigate, exclusively telling me in February of last year.
We don't chase rumors.
And see, now it's all starting to make sense. You know, like how we had Mike Brown, George Floyd, and this list can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And I really can't express how I really feel about this because we all know how TikTok get. But the real, we understand. Let me know what y'all think about these police gangs bending their badges after they, you know, do what they do to our people in the comments. Like or follow for more wisdom and stay tuned. If you stayed this far, share. It don't cost you no money, but it'll be much gratitude if you do.
Wow. Y'all ain't never heard of badge bending before. That's just crazy. These police out here getting stripes like it's a literal gang. Man, and it makes me think, right? It's not just Vallejo. Vallejo is just where one whistleblower was. It's everywhere. Anywhere. You know, Chicago, one of the biggest spots for all of these shootings. Y'all think it's not just black on black, y'all. I think it's blue on black most of the time. But yeah, guys, these are some of the most creepy and wild TikToks that are out there. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bell on, and until next time, YouTube, peace.